Pixburst web image generation is live. Upload your image, edit instantly. Change style, lighting, and texture.
Distinguished guests, thank you for joining us this evening. It is a great honour to be here in Rio de Janeiro at the first United Wildlife Summit in this incredible region. Latin America stands as a global leader in biodiversity and environmental conservation. The region is home to the world's largest tropical rainforest, and from the Andes to the Atlantic forest, Latin America harbors some of the most biodiverse ecosystems on Earth. Ecosystems that are irreplaceable. As the host of COP30, Brazil will play a crucial role in shaping the world's response to nature loss at this decisive moment. Our health, our well-being, and our future prosperity are all deeply rooted in nature. Tonight, we've heard powerful voices from indigenous leaders and government ministers to corporate CEOs and environmental crime experts. Each speech shows us that even in the face of immense challenge, optimism remains. The commitments they announced here today serve to remind us not only of the urgency with which we need to act, but also of the opportunities that lie ahead. We all know that we face a nature crisis, with global biodiversity decreasing, climate change accelerating, and environmental crime fueling ecological decline. As we've heard this evening, environmental crime is now one of the most profitable and damaging forms of transnational crime. In the past year alone, over 1.7 million hectares of the Amazon were cleared across this region, much of which is driven by illicit activity. This crime fuels violence and corruption, distorts legitimate economies, and negatively impacts the livelihoods of the millions. For indigenous communities, these losses are not just environmental, but existential. As forests are destroyed, so are their ancestral lands, sacred sites, and even lives. Indigenous peoples and local communities are partners and leaders with their own solutions. They are not just residents of the forest, they are its protectors. Their stewardship has kept deforestation rates in indigenous lands in the Brazilian Amazon up to 83% lower than in unprotected areas globally. But today, these protectors are under attack. Those who stand in the way of illicit activity face deadly consequences. Latin America recorded 120 environmental protectors killed or disappeared in 2024, accounting for over 80% of all such cases worldwide. These are not just statistics, these are lives. These are people taking enormous risks to protect the land and the future we all depend on. We cannot manage our forests while their protectors live in fear. That is why today I am proud to announce a new partnership between the Royal Foundation and the Coordination of Indigenous Organizations of the Brazilian Amazon, and the Podari Fund, the first indigenous-led fund covering the Brazilian Amazon. As we have just heard, Cuiabe's work has been critical to fighting for the indigenous peoples of the Brazilian Amazon. This initiative means working in partnership with those who know the land best. A partnership will first focus on some of the most pressing issues: expanding access to legal aid, establishing an emergency support fund to help those in immediate danger find safety, and work to raise awareness of indigenous peoples' rights. This partnership will be guided by indigenous leadership, delivered through indigenous mechanisms, and focused on those most at risk, such as isolated communities, female indigenous leaders, and those living near international borders. Because only by working together can we protect those protecting the future of our planet's critical ecosystems. These efforts form the central pillar of a growing Nature's Protectors initiative, ensuring that indigenous and local voices are central to the conservation of the forests, wildlife, and the climate we all depend on. And we are already seeing the impact of this work. Last year, I stood on stage in Cape Town to launch a new ranger insurance and welfare initiative in partnership with the Game Rangers Association of Africa and Tusk Trust. Wildlife rangers do vital but often unrecognised work, and they are now doing one of the most dangerous jobs on Earth. I committed that we make sure 10,000 rangers were insured within 5 years, and I'm pleased to announce today that we are well ahead on delivery, with more than 6,000 rangers insured in the first year alone. And that is why we are going further, by working to replicate this model around the world, so that more of nature's protectors are properly supported to do their vital work. And so when we look to the next 5 years of this crucial decade for our planet, I remain an optimist. Tomorrow night, here in Rio, the Earthshot Prize will honour some of the most inspiring people and solutions to our planet's greatest challenges. Taken together, all these efforts show us what is possible when courage, creativity, and commitment come together. And our task here today is clear. We must put a stop to the criminal networks driving environmental crime and destruction. We must stand alongside those who every day are standing up and defending nature. We must recognise and celebrate these protectors, not just in words, but through our actions. And we must act together. Governments, businesses, and civil society, each must now step up and play their role in developing solutions, scaling support, and shifting resources to where they are needed most. As we look ahead to COP30 in the Amazon, let's carry our determination forward, united in purpose, bold in ambition, and unwavering in our commitment to a safer and healthier world.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Royal Highness, for the announcement you have. Thank you. Thank you, Your Royal Highness, for the announcement you have.
Manchester City